Moving on, Malaysia is making strides towards sustainability and its target of achieving net zero emissions by 2050 with the launch of Industry, Environmental, Social and Governance or iESG framework, and is actively pursuing sustainability through its Budget 2024 initiatives. Furthermore, the new Industrial Master Plan 2030 or NIMP 2030 suggests a commitment to environmental and social sustainability. And ManageEngine emphasizes the importance of using technology to drive sustainable change and highlights the role of organizations and individuals in altering their habits for a more sustainable future. So to discuss further, ready on the line is Rajesh Ganasan, the president of ManageEngine. Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Nabila. Thanks for having me on the show.
No problem. All right, Rajesh, according to a report, Keeping Watch Monitoring Your Path to a Sustainable IT by PESLA, it stated that 52% of businesses in Southeast Asia are still developing sustainable practices, and which include a sustainability framework. So how is the current ecosystem like in Malaysia right now regarding sustainability practices in digital transformation?
Yeah, like you said, as I said, I represent ManageEngine. We produce and sell software to manage the technology infrastructure in companies, including companies in Malaysia. We interact with our customers. One good thing that we see, that we observe in Southeast Asia, particularly Malaysia, the conversations are around sustainability now. We talk to the CIOs in big corporation, government agencies, small businesses, because of the master plan that you were talking about. Previously, it used to be about the functionality of the software, their business objectives, cybersecurity, but now the emphasis is also around sustainability. When we talk about sustainability, people do ask us, right? So it's not just about the term sustainability. The better term is to how do we achieve this net zero goal, right? So reduce carbon. That is where they expect the software. Say, for example, the data centers, the technologies deployed in data centers are not really sustainability friendly today. The amount of hardware that goes in, amount of cooling that it needs, the processing power that it needs. You need software that can monitor the usage of these energy sources. Could be cooling, could be power. That is where a company like ManageEngine comes in. We are really optimistic about the emphasis being placed. And like you said, 52% of the company's organization in Malaysia are still in the process of planning for it. But it looks very optimistic, the situation, because people are asking about sustainability more and more than before.
All right, Rajesh, while data center operators strive to manage their temperature and reduce carbon emissions, businesses can also do their part by implementing different sustainable practices in working with technology. So what are some of the approaches organizations can adopt to environmental sustainability, and how technology is leveraged to achieve positive impacts in line with the national plan?
Right. Like, what are some of the things companies can do? I'll talk about what we do. We are a global corporation with 17,000 employees, and this is sort of a blueprint I see most organizations adopting. The first thing is to sort of know how much you are emitting into the environment, right? The first thing is to be aware of how much emission you are causing into the environment, because without knowing that, without the attempt to reduce what you are already emitting, it's very hard to have any program. In that sense, we have a separate division that owns sustainability as a business objective, right? So this is what most organizations should do. There are some governance framework that is available on how you sort of integrate sustainability as a program, sustainability as a governed program inside organizations. So that is what I would recommend companies start with. So this is exactly, to give you an example, this is exactly like trying to lose weight and to stay healthy. You don't watch your weight every day and expect the weight to go down. You need to watch the preceding parameters, right? So the leading parameters, which is you need to watch the calories that you consume every day. It goes, applies for the same, right? When you talk about sustainability program, first know how much emissions you are causing, and you can know that only when you have good monitoring systems in place, right? So to know how much you are burning, And then comes your initiative to applying green practices, right? So invest in green energy, solar energy, like regions like Malaysia, or I live in India. So we have plenty of green energy sources available. And then any business function today could be very environmental conscious. They can travel less, they can use papers less. How do they recycle their hardware? You bring one aspect at a time into your practice. First, watch the leading indicators, know how much you are burning, and then identify aspects on how you can apply alternatives. So simple, a couple of steps, couple of approaches, but all it needs is call for a big mindset change, right? And that is where companies struggle, and that is where I would recommend companies start with respect to how do they approach sustainability.
So how can actually businesses integrate sustainability into their IT infrastructure monitoring tools to help organizations improve their sustainable practices, which in turn can also lead to enhanced productivity and also efficiency?
Absolutely. Like we talk about getting sustainability integrated into the IT infrastructure. What typically happens in IT infrastructure? Businesses today are chasing their objectives, the business goals, right? 2-3 years ago, we were talking about the blockchain technology. And in the last couple of years, we are talking about generative AI. Businesses are always in this race, right? So of applying, adopting the latest and greatest technology. But again, applying technology for the sake of technology, right? Just to be relevant is not necessarily the right approach. You always need the balance, right? So that is what we always recommend. It is okay to bring technology like generative AI, but please understand, right? So that the kind of impact it could make on the environment. So always have a monitoring system. I always try to give example. It is like buying a great new sports car, right? Just because it can, you can drive it at 300 miles per hour. You don't necessarily drive at that speed all the time in your road. You need some, you need to comply to some regulations. You need to comply to some laws, and the same applies for sustainability also. Go for adopting the latest technology, but also operate your technology within the frameworks of compliance, your laws, and also sustainability. And companies like us, vendors like us, we provide software to always monitor, right? You can bring in blockchain, you can move to cloud, you could have hybrid working environment. Your workforce could be working from remote using multitudes of devices, right? You could be using generative AI as a technology, but we provide software to help you monitor how much you are consuming in terms of energy, how much you are emitting into the environment, all of that. So we create the visibility with which companies can confidently move on to the next step, which is to execute and run a good sustainability governance program.
All right, Rajesh, we have about 2 minutes left. May I talk about the cybersecurity in terms of IT management?
Right.
Sustainable initiatives succeed only when the technology is well defended against potential damages. Hence, what role
Right.
does cybersecurity play in building a sustainable future, and how do organizations contribute to this aspect?
Interesting question. This is something many of our customers ask. It comes in many conversations. So how does cybersecurity play a role? I generally don't tend to look at cybersecurity as a separate aspect. When you have technology infrastructure, cybersecurity is a very important underpinning. So all that I said previously, right? So your outlook, your approach to sustainability should not exclude anything, including cybersecurity. Like how you run your technology infrastructure, cybersecurity is very much part of your overall program. It includes running your data center operations, so monitoring your entire infrastructure, keeping them secure. At the same time, also have sustainability goals bring in, right? So what could be the fallout of not having this approach, where you tend to outsource security? Because every organization today, right, especially those who are in the cloud business, are perennially under attack. If you are on the cloud, you have to assume you're always under attack. If you don't have good cybersecurity, you're going to waste a lot of resources. You are going to be under attack. You will be thwarting attacks, or you would be responding to attacks all the time. This means more energy consumption, right? So that is how I would want to look at it. When you have cybersecurity as an important underpinning, you are basically avoiding a lot of attacks fundamentally, and that would indirectly help you, right? So from saving a lot of energy that you would otherwise be spending in managing all these cyber attacks. And that would be our approach to including cybersecurity in the overall sustainability program.
All right, well, indeed, bridging the gap between digital transformation and sustainability to make database decisions can actually result in resource optimization and also bring economic benefits for businesses. So I would like to say thank you to Rajesh Ganesan, the president of ManageEngine. You can find the whole discussion on all of our digital platform of Astro AWANI.